In this problem, a given dump truck's carrying capacity at the time of its production was 13,000 pounds. At a given point in the future, when loaded to a routine load of 12,000 pounds at a dump site, the dump truck's thrust rod used to lift and unload the bed of the truck failed. The above case is an example of which type of steel failure: fatigue, expansion, deformation, or deflection. This is an example of a conceptual problem that we would not be able to use the reference manual to help us with. Instead, it is a case where we would need to understand what is happening in the case provided and recognize the type of failure that occurred. In this case, the problem states that the dump truck is routinely loaded to 12,000 pounds, which is less than its maximum carrying capacity of 13,000 pounds. The fact that this is the same capacity at which the thrust rod failed can be understood to be an example of fatigue. Fatigue-type failures are due to a reduction in strength due to cyclical loading. The problem does not provide any more detail as to what exactly happened to the thrust rod, so it would be a stretch to guess that any of the other type of failures listed here were the cause. I think it's important to study questions like this simply to be aware of the fact that some things are not going to be in the reference manual. This is the type of information that would have been covered in many introductory materials classes and is probably why questions like these are fair game on the Civil PE. While there aren't many conceptual questions on the exam, there are enough that there's going to be a few here and there where you're simply going to have to either know the material or you don't. It's certainly not possible to know everything, so with questions like these, sometimes you just have to do your best. I realize this isn't the most optimistic of advice, but for certain problems, try not to let it get you down. Remember, you're not looking for a perfect score on this test, you're just looking to pass it.